Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Yogi Hamm. I'm Yogi Hamm. And this is my garage. This is where we talk about stuff and crap and things and stuff. And tonight, we're doing a ghost story. And it's a local one that I know about. I know pretty good about it too, boy. Because it's right over there. Nobody been able to go up in there for a long time, so I'm going to tell you why. I finally got to go up there. All the way up. I'm going to tell you how. But anyhow, let's get going. Ghost stories is what we're doing. This is the category tonight. And, what was that? Then, we're doing a little piece called The Hollow. I know I was about to say The Holler, but some of y'all wouldn't know what I was talking about. So we're talking about it over, it's right over there, walking distance. So anyway, what happened was, here up on this ridge, there wasn't nobody up here at one point. And then there was this little part of a tribe of Cherokee. They had a big disagreement with the main tribe and they broke off. And they come up here up on the ridge. And everything's going good, but their leader was also their damn that shaman guy. You know what I'm talking about? So the story is they camped about where we at right now. And then then some of the other people from that original tribe started coming in, looking, spying on them, and they saw what they's doing. They said, "Why are they doing that? You know what's going on?" So their leader, the shaman guy, medicine man, whatever they called it, I don't know which one they called, but he would go. He said he's going out on a mystery walk, or whatever they called him. I forget what they used to call him. But he'd smoke him some marijuana, eat him some damn peyote, and then they'd just wander out into the woods. And supposedly all the visions would come to him to tell him how to proceed with his people. But they said that when he come back, he was all like this, like walking like this, like a zombie, just like it. And they said he's never seen him. And the only thing he said when he first come back, he passed out and he was asleep for like 3 days. And they thought he's gonna croak. But when he woke, but right before he passed out, he said wendigo. Yeah, so they think he run into a wendigo, but he's never seen him after that. And he kept disappearing from the camp that was right here where we live, and it's over there. He kept disappearing into the holler. Try not to say holler, because I know that upset some people. Holler, over there at the holler. There you go, that's what we call it now then. So he ended up turning to witchcraft, and his people were like, "What are you doing?" He said, "This is our ancient people's customs and stuff," but he was really turning them to witchcraft because he's under influence of that wendigo. Is what they said. That's legend. So he had them move their little village, move it over there to the holler. So while they in the holler, things go south, and next thing you know, here comes some white folk settling in the area. Well, then the people they go up there to introduce themselves to the native tribes that's up there, right? And they get up there and it's gone. It's abandoned. The teepees and their shelters and everything they built up there and their little corral for their horses and everything is still there. but it was all in a cramped area. And they's gone. No, they never did find out what happened with that, right? So then more of the white people come in there and started making that town a little bigger. And so they come over to introduce themselves, right? They come up there and they go up and it's abandoned and everything. But while they's up there and while they's looking around, see if they could find any evidence of what happened, they'd hear stuff. They'd hear whispers behind the trees. Yeah, he would. And what it said is that guy, that shaman, he awoke the gnarled and twisted dark trees that was in them woods in that holler. Yeah, they could hear mysterious chanting, and they could hear the wind. They could hear the wind blowing real strong when there was no wind, and it seemed like they could see these dark shapes peeking out from behind trees like that. So, and they could hear like a weeping woman. They could hear this woman crying, and away from that woman, you could hear a baby crying. What the? So, anyway, when the town got a little bigger and they got a church and they got them a preacher, and that preacher said, I'm going up there. I'm going to exorcise that evil right out of that holler. And then we can expand the town out, is what he said. So he went up in there. He went down in that holler, boy. Went down there with his Bible and his top hat. Went down there, walked up in there, never came back. And the people went up there, and all they saw was that abandoned village. And finally, I don't know how long later, but somebody went up there and they dismantled all that and burned it in a big pile and did a ceremony. I don't remember when that was, but anyhow, that's what happened there. So, but they still hear all them. And then right after that, then when they was looking for the preacher, they swore on the wind they could hear bits and pieces of Bible verses being yelled. And there was several people that have said to have heard that. So anyway, what happened was around here, see, that's way back a long time ago, but back in the early 1900s, that family, that Clayton, no good ass people, they moved up into that holler and took it over. And they wouldn't allow nobody to go up in there. They'd shoot at you. Yeah, you come too close, they'd shoot at you. And they was growing marijuana up there and making liquor, moonshine. They's doing all that up there. And then sometime after like Prohibition, they made that moonshine all the way up because it was still popular. That homemade up in the mountains, that shit was real popular. So they made that all up into the 60s. And then, but that family, nobody touch them. They knew that shit was going on. They knew the marijuana was being grown up there. They knew the liquor was being made up there. But for some reason, local law enforcement could not touch them, even if they weren't on the take. Even if, like our sheriff now, I love that man, known him my whole life, love him, trust him. He's a good and damn honest, damn human being. I wish we had more of him everywhere in this world. And he just wasn't allowed, he knew that was going on, but he wasn't allowed to go up there. He was untouchable. Probably had some family relations higher up in the state. But anyhow, so they just lived up there. They'd been growing weed, and I knew them two boys. Them two boys that was my age, I knew them because they went to school with us sometimes when they felt like showing up, and then, But them two boys, them two Clayton boys, they's the only two that I've ever known around here that wasn't scared of my sister Patty. Everybody else back down from Patty. I don't want none of that. But they'd be like, come on in, I guess. Yeah, it happened one time. They was trying to make fun of me, and she stepped in, and they went at it. And she didn't whoop his ass because one was holding me down and the other one was fighting Patty. And Patty, she held her own. She didn't whoop his ass like I thought she was going to, but she didn't lose neither. And the guy holding me down just kept smacking me around. But they didn't mess with us after that, after they knew Patty'd step up and give them what for right back at them. But when you go up in that holler, when you first get in the holler, there's a pond there where you go swimming, and there's all these gnarly looking tree roots and stuff, so it looks like you're swimming on another planet when you're little kids. But you can't go much farther up past that swimming hole. If you get up there, they shoot at you. Yeah, they just take a shot. Pow, get out. That means, you know what that means? Pardon my French, but that means get the fuck out of here right now. Next shot is in your ass. That's what that meant. I got it a couple times. The first time I didn't know how far you could go. Went up there. Pow! Okay. All right. That's it, I guess. That's as far as you can go. Okay. And then another time was just earlier, like right at the end of winter, early spring, I think, because I talked about it in one of the early videos. But, so I went up there. I was like, I ain't been up there in forever. I ain't even been over the swimming hole in a decade or more. So I went over there one day, walking up there and got up to that, where they call that a bridge. There's this big log, big tree fell, and it goes from this hill to that hill, and they call it the tree bridge. And I went under that, and then, pew! And I said, okay, all right. You still can't go past the bridge. All right, okay. Peace, you know. But just recently, they went up there. They had a court order, finally, to get one of them fellas to go to court. And they was taking that up there to him, and they knew they was going to have a shootout if they started coming up there. So the sheriff was there, and they had people from the state, and they went up in there with guns ready, boy. They was gone. The Clayton clan been there since the early 1900s. They just moved up in there. That wasn't nobody's land. They just took it. It's part of the state's land, I guess. But they're gone now. And it's like, where'd they go? Because I heard about it, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go up. I went up there in the holler, boy, just not too long ago. And I went up there, and I said, I'm going to bring Kit. And I had my phone with me, but I said, next time I'm going to prepare and do a show up here. And so I went up there, and I made it all the way past that damn tree bridge, boy. And then we went on up there. And you know what? I said boy again. And look at this note I got right there. Look at that note. Don't say boy so much. They had to put a note up. Because I keep doing it. Anyway, so I went all the way up there, made it. And there 4 old ramshackle damn hillbilly cabins. When some of them cabins had damn dirt floors. And I'm like, damn, how'd they... And it was dirty, and it was a pig pen and a barn. And 4 cabins. All crammed into that little clearing. And I was like, damn, they gone. Okay, well... We can come back in the holler now. Holler's free. We can come back. And then I thought, we'll probably never. But I didn't stick around. Once I found it and saw it and had a look around, I left. I didn't stick around and see if I'd hear no crying women or no crying babies or no damn dark shapes peeking out around the tree looking at me. So I went down there, but I was listening. And there was a slight wind. I did not hear any Bible verses. I did not hear any crying. But one day I'm gonna go up there and we're gonna do a video. 'Cause there is a vibe. Now, of course, that could be self-inflicted because of the stories. I could just be imagining the vibe, 'cause I want there to be a vibe. But we're going to see what happens when I take the camera up there. Now, we are way over budget. And the song I want you to go listen to is by that band. I've been talking about them a lot lately. That band up there in Ohio called the Dreadfuls. Go listen to them. This song's from 2024 and it's called In the Hollows. In the Hollows. Go listen to that. We are way over budget. Why'd y'all let me do that? Oh, the story was good. Don't try to... We know it wasn't. Don't mean trying it. Buttering me up. Anyhow, okay, comment if you want to. Go listen to that song, In the Hollows, by the Dreadfuls. Go listen. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. Have you ever heard of it? Well, I can't tell you the name of the hollers. Because then you figure out where I'm at, and I can't have that. Paparazzi, fans, traffic jams, I can't have that down there on Main Street. Okay, bye.